The story begins where we see Black Widow and Hawkeye scoping out what appears to be a human settlement during this world's Marvel zombie apocalypse. Coming here due to them receiving the camp's radio signal, the heroes went to investigate, with Clint being quite skeptical, thinking this looked too easy. Being the optimistic one for once, despite, living in a zombie apocalypse, Natasha urged her friend for them to take a look. Meeting these survivors, the people were more than happy to greet the heroes, believing they now had additional defenders during these trying times. Intrigued at how peaceful things were, Black Widow asked just what was keeping the undead at bay, where the people revealed it was a mysterious object of some kind, and they were not too certain how it worked. Being led to a cave, Nat and Clint went to investigate this object, which was a glowing orb of some kind, which rested upon a pedestal, with her not quite recognizing its origins. Going to get a closer look, Black Widow walked forward, but soon heard a disgusting crunch, which ended up being that of a human skull, much to the disappointment of the settlement leader. Suddenly the lights went out, where the pair are met by the sounds of screeching, screaming, and a sudden explosion. Activating her flashlight, Widow was horrified to discover the sight of the popped head of the zombie version of the mutant illusionist Martinique Wingard. Managing to save Natasha before she could have been infected, we see it was sadly too late for Clint, who was bitten by Martinique in the scuffle. Knowing her friend was lost, Nat was forced to take the man down, ending Hawkeye's life before the transformation could complete. We then see the disturbing truth that this human camp was actually not human at all. It was an entire zombie militia led by an undead Nick Fury who would use zombified mutant illusionists to make them all appear as living to lure survivors here, thus creating a steady supply of food. To make things even more disturbing, Fury and the others thought they were justified in their actions, for they apparently had the top zombified heroes working on a cure to the virus, but needed to be satiated in order to think clearly. Seeing that there was no hope for her former colleague, Nat went full John Wick mode, eliminating the zombies present, where she went to engage the zombified Fury. Despite his amplified strength, Nick was no match for Widow, who managed to slice his head off, where she then blasted it to pieces before he could return. Bloodied, saddened, and betrayed at the loss of her last remaining friend, Black Widow made her way outside, where she encountered the rest of the shambling undead corpses. Without hesitation, the woman unmercifully took the women down, where she soon ran out of ammo, but used her fallen friend's bow to launch an explosive arrow, which set off a chain reaction, blowing up the camp, all while Natasha watched on, being the lone survivor in this undead-infested world.